Oh boy, we are racing. Apologize if you heard the cars for a second there. I may have waited a bit too long after getting the stream set up and they actually started running the race a bit early. But thankfully I restarted it from what we had, and thankfully nothing went too out of hand. But welcome everyone to the fourth race of the CUBECAR Cup Series season here at Phoenix, also known in this build as ISM Raceway, when it was shortly renamed for like 2 years and then went back to its old name. This track is freaking weird, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But right now, let's take a look at your starting lineup for today's event here at Phoenix. Row number 1 is Sanic and Dragalialost in the front row. Row number 2 is No Maidens and Coal Cube. Row number 3, Goots and Doge Cube, the winner at Auto Club. Row number 4, Melee Fox and Among Us. Row number 5, Squid Games and Igus. Row number 6, Racelin and Hee 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 Ha. Row number 7, Jinx and Egg Dog. Row number 8, Bob the Builder and Packmobile. Row number 9, Trolling and Gun. Row number 10, Bloodclot and Omori Sr. Row number 11, Sheepmobile and Beefy. Row number 12, Squidward and Pecorine. Row number 13, Dumbcat and the Racer. Row number 14, Hubris, last week's winner, and Lightning McQueen. Row number 15, Imposter and Omori Jr. Row number 16, Chow and Raccoon. Row number 17, Donkey Kong and Daisy. Row number 18, So Retro and Cubendorf. And rounding out the field is Fear and our good old last place runner friend, Sans Club. Once again, just not having a very good day. This is technically considered a short track, but it's so in between a short track and an intermediate that it just kind of sits in between what is classified as either of those. But I had to start a couple hours early today because of the threat of inclement weather, which usually in that case cuts out my power, and I am not really adamant on that happening, so we'll just have to see and wait what happens real quick during today's event here at Phoenix.
Drivers, start your engines!
This is a 1.2 mile track. Has some very interesting features that I'll get to in a little bit. Now, normally in the past I've run the older version of this track, which had the start-finish line on this straight right here. But in 2018, or actually 2019, they moved it to, or maybe it was 2018. Yes, it was 2018. They moved it to a new position in what was once turn 2, or the entry to turn 2, and that is where they will start today here at Phoenix. So, as I come around for the first time today, and hopefully it won't come today, green flag is out here at Phoenix, and we are racing in race number 4. Already some cubes starting to take advantage of those lines that go below the yellow line of the track. Those are legal passes, or areas where you can make illegal passes here in this track. And no, that is not an illegal left, by the way. That is exactly how it was intended, so that's exactly what we have. But yeah, you can go all the way down to the bottom and then go all the way back up past that yellow line and you'll be fine. As you can see, wow, I believe that's the 80 of Racelin making some moves on the inside line past Melee Fox and Doge Cube, and they will get that position very quickly ahead of our leaders. But Sanic continues to hold the lead, but not by very much over the 31 of No Maidens, who has had a very troubling past few weeks, to say the least. As the 28 of Cole actually gets a huge run in turns 2 and 3, and we'll try and get past Dragalialost in the 25, but will not prevail. But that was a very interesting move by that cube. Actually, that was turns 1 and 2. There's turn 3 and 4 as they're going through now. This track is confusing. It's just so different to how it was back in my day. Back in my day, before the playoffs, before stage points, before any of that blah 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 nonsense that we had in the past. I'm getting too old for this, as Goots in the 7 actually making a move on the Auto Club winner, Doge Cube. And looks like Goots in the 7 will take away that top 5 position early on. 156 laps here today at Phoenix. As we got some 3 wide action out in the back. There's Hubris in the 07, the winner at Las Vegas, making some moves on Dumbcat and Omori Sr. back there. Turns 1 and 2 definitely seem to be the best opportunities to make a pass here on this whole track, as there's still 3 wide back there. It looks like Hubris will clear Dumbcat now and will try to go for everyone else in front of them. But since this is the shortest track we've been on so far, we might actually start to see some cubes going a lap down later in the race, which could lead to some traffic for our leaders, which will definitely be an interesting thing to happen for sure. So now Sanic pulling away with a little bit of a lead now. Let's see how long they'll be able to keep that lead, though, here at Phoenix, as this is a very technically challenging track. Especially since you can take so many lines and get away with so many different weird types of moves. Pecker in the 18, also looking for a good run after finishing close to last. Actually, I think they did finish last at Las Vegas. I'll have to back that up after we're done, but oh well, it doesn't really matter right now. But had a pretty tough finish. Actually, both the 80 and the 18 had tough finishes at Las Vegas. As you see, there's Egg Dog in the 20 making some bold moves. Lost a lot of momentum there trying to sneak up on Gun and Sheepmobile, who also needs a good run because they are last in points right now after 3 straight weeks of not finishing a race. Actually, no, they did finish Las Vegas, but they're still last in points overall. Meanwhile, Sands Club has made up some positions, but that has left So Retro way in the back in that 08. But currently now, Sanic is the cube on point, staying ahead of the rest of our leaders so far. There's August getting past Doge Cube in the 00. We've already seen this battle once or twice before this season. There certainly isn't a battle we won't cease to see the rest of the season, because they'll definitely be battling it out some more, considering they seem to be pretty equal in power right now. As Trolling and Bob the Builder in the 46, both trying to get around Raceland in the 80. I think it'll end up working out for both of them here. But Raceland making a hard charge on the outside, trying to take that position away, and they will get clear of the 46 of Bob the Builder, with Among Us and the 53 right behind, looking to gain some spots. BV and Packmobile battling with each other back there, along with the 5 of Hee 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 Haw. There really is no optimal line here at this track. The inside tends to work a little better in the opening corners, but typically you're going to end up... Oh, wow, the 5 of Hee Hee Haw got a really good run on the 01 of Squid Games. Actually bumped him out of the way with that disjointed hitbox on those cubes. And we'll try and get around them this time by. But no, the outside line did end up working in the 01's favor. And here comes Sheepmobile. Actually, yeah, Sheepmobile on the bottom lane to try and get past the BV, get some points. Get some very well needed points. But we're probably going to be seeing a lot of these 1v1 battles throughout the rest of the field as Sanic continues to get away from our lead pack. As we look at the ticker here, let's see who their fastest cube is. The 42, that is Jinx. So it'll be interesting to see what they do throughout this race. Oh, we got a problem already. The 11. Oh no. I believe Red is in chat right now. Yes, that is the 11. Engine damage 0.3. They may still be able to continue, but that is another devastating blow to that team. Early engine troubles will probably sideline that team from having a good finish today. Still a 30-something% chance of being out of it completely. Let's see if they don't go poof. Yep, they're going to try and fix it. So, tough break for that 11 team. On lap 14 out of 156, that's definitely going to be a major blow, especially at a short track like this where you can easily lose multiple laps with an issue like that. But Sanic continues to get away with an amazing lead. But the 31 of No Maidens was actually faster than Sanic that lap, so we may start to see a gap closing up pretty soon. The draft isn't as effective on this track as it is on other tracks. Also, hi Cole. Your main cube's doing pretty good so far, but Daisy's not really doing too good. Leader of this pack right here. But meanwhile, through the rest of the field, we're starting to see some more battles. The 19 of Igus making some passes as well. 42 of Jinx also making some passes. Let's see what happens to the 11. Looks like they're out of pit road. Oh no, they're already out. So there's your last car winner. 17 laps into this race, and we already have a last car winner. Wow, incredible. But difficult start to the season for that 11 team, who has been involved in a lot of incidents so far. Crashed out at Daytona, got involved in the big one at Auto Club, had issues at Las Vegas, and now here at Phoenix, they're going to be the last car winner for today's event with a gearbox failure. Actually, the 19 has moved to second, past No Maidens, who I thought was gaining earlier, but wow. The 19 ran almost 2 tenths faster than the 06 did that time around, so we'll just have to see what happens with these three cubes, because Igus, Dragalialost, and No Maidens seem to be some of the fastest out on this track, especially the 42 of Jinx, who ran the fastest lap so far. But some interesting developments early on for some cubes that are eligible to win the championship, and that 11 is certainly one of them. But our currently highest running cube that it has to run the championship is the 25 of Dragalialost. Having a well-needed good run. Ooh, 3 wide back here past the dog leg here, and Doge Cube's going to be the loser of that exchange. And there's Sheepmobile in the 30 trying to crack into the top 10. Really needs a good run here at Phoenix today. There really is no optimal line. You do get slightly better runs on the inside, but you can also just take the dog leg, or at least have a better run on the outside. Now the 5, trying to make it 3 wide again. Barely made it past Bob the Builder, and is going to get away with that position ahead of Bob the Builder, Raceland, and Cole in the 28. Meanwhile, some more battles back here. Looks like this mid-pack battle is starting to get really spicy as Sheepmobile now forced into the middle line by Squid Games and Doge Cube. They almost made contact right there. I think they did for a split second. But now they are starting to thin out a little bit. Oh, Packmobile making a run on the inside there over Gun. Also, just want to shout out right now that the average view duration of the video is 4 minutes 20 seconds. Nice. Well, now it just went up to 4 minutes 30 seconds, so it's no longer nice, but those are some neat little stat to point out that I saw for a split second on the side on my other monitor. But Sandnick continues to get away with a really good lead, but I think that 19 and the 25 are both closing pretty quickly to our leader right now. And Trolling in the 33 also having a pretty good run. And that cube definitely has a history of leading a bunch of laps, then having an issue. So we'll have to see what happens to the 33 of Trolling later in this race if they manage to duke it out front. But this lead pack has certainly started to thin out, but back here in the mid pack is definitely where you want to see all the action. As Doge Cube now takes the bottom lane to get around Sheepmobile and BV, and there's Packmobile in the 97, who also needs another good run after a disappointing performance at Daytona. But then getting a top 10 at Auto Club, missing all the violence that happened behind him. There's a net flying in my face. I don't like that. And there's Hubris, last week's winner, making some spots up. Looking to capitalize on that inside lane and trying to maybe potentially get another win here today, which would be pretty interesting to see, but we'll just have to watch and find out. Looks like a bit of a breakaway has formed between the cars the cubes that obviously have lower short track ratings. You can definitely tell some of these were definitely have very low short track ratings so far. And Trolling in 33 has passed Dragalialost for third, is now trying to go for second place, but that lead is shrinking for the 06 of Sanic, who is currently on his way to potentially have that lead taken over by the 19 or the 33 of Trolling. Meanwhile, back here, Goots in the 7, potentially trying to get around the 5 of Hee Hee Haw. Gets a little nose in there, but they're side by side in turn 2. I say it's turn 2. It's technically turn 3 because this track technically has 5 turns, but for whatever reason, they just rebrand the real first turn as the real second turn as the dog leg, and well, there it is right there. And now they're going into what is now turn 1. It used to be turn 3 in the old configuration. I have no idea why the hell they made this map or track the championship race when it can easily go back to being Miami again. But oh well, me being a NASCAR boomer, I guess. It lives in my veins. It lives in my blood. I live to complain about modernity. It's in my body. But yeah, one cube who don't want to see having a bad day right now is Cubendorf, who is sitting 9th in points going into this race, above the cut line for the chase. But if they continue to have a slow day, they could be very well losing some spots and points, as now we have a potential battle for the lead right here. 06 of Sanic trying to hold off with the outside line. Oh, wow. I think the 19 washed up the track right there and lost a lot of momentum. Here comes the 33 trying to take away second position. And now this might actually end up being a 3-way battle for the lead if the 19 continues to lose some positions here, or momentum, as Sanic continues to get away with even more of a lead. Dragalialost and Jinx are falling back a little bit. Then you've got the rest of our, I believe, our A-rank cubes up here. No Maidens, Goots, and Bob the Builder. Actually, Bob the Builder made a pass on Goots right there, and here comes the 5 of Kikikiha, ready to take it back as well. Currently, our top 10 goes all the way back to the 5. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens after that. Meanwhile, oh wow, 3-wide battle here between Squid Games, Racelin, and Goots. And now we got a battle for second. Here comes Trolling Cube on the inside of, I guess, to try and take away that second position. Here they come. The Troll Cube is still side by side going into turn 4. And we'll actually pass the 19 for second place. I think that 33 is going for the lead right now. Currently 4th fastest among the crowd right now. Oh, the 28 of Cole's Cube getting sucked up in that 3-wide formation. Slides up to the outside. Will get ahead of Goots, but Gunn is still there, looking to take away that spot. And now they'll block the inside lane and will get away with that position. Meanwhile, Sheepmobile once again stuck in a 3-wide formation right here. Meanwhile, out back, the stragglers are beginning to thin out a little bit. It is no longer the race for last, but certainly a race for a position, which is good enough, I suppose. Interesting. Taking a sip of my water. My water! Right now, this is your top 5. The lead is actually this lead, I wouldn't say it's a pack, it's more of a train than a pack right now, but these leaders are starting to spread out a little bit more, but this pack is definitely the one getting a lot of action. Hubris is currently actually in this pack right here, running at the tail end of it, but it's actually picked up a lot of positions since the start. I think the 07 is the biggest gainer of the race so far, so definitely a very quick cube so far in this race. Maybe with some adjustments could actually get up front when we get our green flag pit stops underway, which I don't know when will happen, but they'll happen eventually. Oh, we got a potential battle for the lead up here. Trolling Cube has knocked Sanic out of line. Still trying to get around Sanic here, and the 19 of Ike is just waiting for those two to kill each other up front so that she can take away the lead up front. But at least it looks like Sanic's lead magic from earlier seems to have ran out. As here comes the 33. Still on the back bumper of the 06, just waiting to strike. They're slowing up each other, and that'll allow the 19 to gain a little bit of momentum there. You can see they're starting to lose grip because their tires are starting to wear away. That's just how it be here at Phoenix. That's a very tire-intensive track because of how weird it is compared to every other track. Trolling still looking to the inside, gonna get a bit of a peek, but the 06 of Sanic is gonna make them go up the inside lane, and here comes Igus in the 19 to take away that second position. Bit of a dive to the bottom, but looks like it's gonna stay 1, 2, 3 for now on. Meanwhile, this pack is starting to thin out a little bit. There's Doge Cube and this Pac-Mobile going way down the dog leg to try and get past our leaders. Pac-Mobile will get ahead of Sheepmobile. Two of the mobiles having a little bit of a 1v1 over there in turns 1 and 2. Cole's Cube actually goes way up on the outside lane with help from BV, and looks like, oh wow, BV is going to make it very close between Cole and Goots. For I believe that was the 15th, no, 14th position. Or the 15th position, because Goots was scored as 15th there. And Cole's Cube will fall back a little bit more. Started in the top 10, but is now falling into the 16th. And it is Daisy in the 44, who has actually made quite a lot of positions since the start of this race. Potentially could reunite with her teammate, but who knows if that'll end up happening. Meanwhile up front, oh wow, Trolling has taken the lead away from this 06, and here comes the 19 if I could try and take away second. But it was at this track in Season 2 where the 33 won the first stage and we still did stages, and that's when the 33 had a brake failure and had to come to pit road. And that eliminated their chances of winning, so maybe Phoenix will no longer be a cursed track for that team. The replay of that race is still on this channel, but it was an interesting race, just to say the least. With a big one that also involved a cube flipping over like what happened at Auto Club. But this is a different track from the one at Auto Club, which is a bit more crazy. This one's a bit more laid back. So thankfully we probably don't have to deal with stuff like that. And this mid-pack is starting to thin out a little bit. Still seeing some action between Hubris and Among Us in the 53. There's Daisy in the 44. Almost made it 3 wide through the middle, but I think she might actually try it now. No, not enough momentum. And Amori Sr. goes way up the track there in turns 1 and 2. I mean, TV camera 2 is a better option for this. And the 19 looking to pass the 06 for second, and looks like they'll get away with that second position. Now they're trying to chase down the leader for some 5 bonus points. Dragalialost back there, running faster times than Sanic did. So yeah, these two looking to chase down our leaders. They were both, let's see if these two ran faster laps this time by 110, 386, 440, and 195. So yeah, it's a bit of a toss-up between our leaders right now, but the 19 just ran the fastest lap out of our top 5, so it'll be interesting to see what happens from here out as Pac-Mobile continuing to make up some spots, about to crack the top 10 to try and get past No Maidens, who started 3rd. Pac-Mobile started around mid-pack, so it'll be a mid-pack, haha. Although I'd say this cube is definitely not mid today, it's very much top 10, maybe even top 5 material. Hubris and Cole battling it out, or Hubris and Daisy actually. These two battled for the win at Las Vegas, so you could say these two probably don't have hard feelings for each other. Maybe. Still a guesswork, but these two trying to get around the 10 of Squidward, who was doing good at Daytona. But yeah, after Daisy's 9th place finish at Las Vegas, certainly a missed opportunity for that team after a bad pit stop under yellow. Ooh, Huber slid up the track a little bit, took it a bit too aggressive, and here comes Daisy with a run out of turn 2. Meanwhile, not too much action happening up front. The leaders still doing the best they can to keep their positions, but we probably are getting to pit stops pretty soon. It's so retro out back, trying their best to get past Chad, but yeah, these keeps back here definitely continue to have issues. There's Sands Club. We're running towards the back once again. There's Lightning McQueen. There's Donkey Kong in the 98. And Sands Club actually going to make a run around Donkey Kong for that position. Going to be on his outside for a little bit longer, but Donkey Kong's going to stay ahead in turn number 3. Meanwhile, Squidward in the 10 trying to battle with Cole once again, but there's the 44 of Daisy saying, "You can't just raise my team owner like that. I'm going to have to intervene if possible, and maybe draft up if necessary," even though the draft isn't that effective here compared to other tracks. BV in the 66 having a pretty good run. Started the season a little bit later than usual, but that's okay. We accept any and all talent at any time, except after the 5th race. That's the deadline for late entries. So if you're watching this and you hadn't submitted, tell me now. Or at least DM me an entry, because that is the deadline after race 5. You cannot submit any late entries after that. Meanwhile, the 4 and the 28 have found each other. Let's see if they'll actually work together to get further up in the pack. Meanwhile, ooh, battle 3 wide battle between BV Sheepmobile and Raceland the 80, and the Sheepmobile is going to be the winner of that exchange. And so will BV on that inside lane. Raceland's going to lose a couple of spots. And here comes Doge Cube, Auto Club winner, to try and get past No Maidens. Who was definitely falling like a rock since the start of this race. Started 3rd or 4th, is now falling back to 10th. But top 10 is still better than nothing, that's for sure. But controlling in the 33 starting to get... Oh yeah, definitely running much faster laps than, I guess, in Sands Club. 28.6 to 28.3. But you can tell their tire wear is starting to wear pretty thin. We'll maybe start to see them pit pretty soon. But right now, our only DNF in the race is the 11 of Blood Clot after having that engine failure at lap 15. I actually didn't think they'd be out of the race, but lo and behold, they did. It was a 30% chance, but by God, they actually managed to DNF, which is I've never seen before with a chance that low. And I've run a million different races of these, and there are some things that you just don't know about, like the rare DNF things that happen every so often, like no fuel, which can happen at Pigs Creek, which is a track we'll be getting to in the playoffs. And that has definitely been an interesting track, to say the least. But now Daisy has actually passed her team owner Cole for the 21st position, and that 28 continuing to lose spots after starting up front. That team really needs some adjustments on pit road to make them faster to get back up front to the top 10. And now Daisy passing Among Us in the 53. Oop, I just farted. I don't know if that picked up on the mic. That was very random. But here comes Omori Sr. in the 2 to try and get around Cole. This mid-pack battle is starting to heat up once again as Squidward and Goots now battling for that position in 15th. Actually, here comes Raceland in the 80. No, not going to make that much of an advantage. Patrolling, taking that lead and taking it nice and proud. We are officially around a third of the way through the race. We'll see what they do from here. Actually, lap 52 is more or less that 1/3 of the way point. But I want to get, hopefully, not a lot of yellows in this race to keep this as smooth as possible, because I don't want to have to stream during the big storm that's coming through my area pretty soon and potentially lose power and lose the race. So that would be very bad. But this mid-pack battle heating up once again before pit stops begin, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Bristol in the 80 trying to make it 3 wide, but slides at the track. And here comes Hubris in the 07 trying to take away the 17th position. Meanwhile, Squidward still battling with Goose, now battling with BV for the 14th position. Meanwhile, the rest of our leaders have started to break away from each other. Actually, Bob the Builder has passed Jinx for... Actually, no, is defending the 6th position from Jinx this time by... But Trolling still the cube out front. But maybe during this set of the 60s, the 60s and the lap counter will be able to... Oh, actually, they're catching up to the slow cars right now. So this will be interesting to see how they deal with these slow cars in traffic. We haven't seen that yet this season, of just naturally catching up to slow cars, because we haven't seen any short tracks yet. But this will be a big factor at tracks like Bristol and Martinsville. Ooh, we got some trouble here. Trouble for the 96 of Chow Cube. Still going at regular speed. It says it's an oil leak, so they might just come to pit road, but after a good finish at Las Vegas last week, will they come to pit road? Yes, Chow Cube unintentionally will be the first to come down for green flag pit stops under a situation that wasn't entirely their fault. Coming down pit road, and they're going to try and fix that. So tough break for Chow Cube, but looks like we're going to start seeing some lap traffic action pretty soon as we go back to our leader, catching up to the lap cube of Cubendorf. The first one about to go a lap down. This might slow down their momentum before they pit, so this will be interesting to see what will transpire. Might make it easier for a second or third place cubes to get ahead. Looks like the 96 will actually get out of pit road. So 2 laps down now for the 96 of Chow Cube, though, so a tough break for that team. It's going to take a lot of effort to get back up front there. Let's see what Trilling can do to try and get around Cubendorf. Oh, someone's way down on the bottom there. That was Chow Cube actually coming out of pit road. And Trilling easily gets around the 04 of Cubendorf. And that's the first cube that'll officially go a lap down under racing condition, but I don't think they'll get that many before he comes down pit road, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Actually ran a faster lap time, even though they're going through traffic, which is a little bit funny. But Dragalialost, I believe, actually would pass by Gun, so Gun will move up to another position. Oh, someone actually did have some issues back there. Someone actually might have slid a little bit. There's some tire markers back there in turn 2, but I can't really pinpoint who it might have been. But Trolling now continuing to lap more of the slow cubes as he gets right on the bumper of So Retro, forces him out of the way. I think I might know what caused those tire tracks now. It was those lap cubes in the way of our leader. And considering that cube has not won a single race, and has almost won a single race, but has died multiple times trying to win a race, might be our saddest story. But we'll have to wait and see what happens, as Chow Cube currently sitting with the rest of the slower cubes. But no one coming to pit road just yet. We might see them start pitting in the 70s. Meanwhile, let's see where our current battles are. Cole's Cube continuing to lose spots. Really needs a good pit road adjustment so they can get back up front and get back with our leaders after starting way up front. Hubris losing a little bit of momentum as well after getting up front close to the top 15, but we're gonna stretch a little bit. Nice to get up and stretch a little bit every once in a while, especially once you're doing this for a living. Not for a living, but as a hobby. Ooh, I thought Daisy was coming on pit road there for a second, but no, that was just Daisy going to the bottom lane. Now the 19 trying to get around our lap keeps having a much harder time, though. That 33 is just so efficient at just cutting through the positions right here and getting around them for extra cushion for their lead, which is definitely what's going on right now. As the 19 continues to struggle to get around the 4 of Ganondorf. Ganondorf, you must die. So I got stressed a little bit. But the 33 is still having a very good day so far. Could be their Phoenix redemption. After I mentioned earlier, they almost won this track in Season 2, but died in the process. I was actually entered into the revival, but unfortunately that never happened. As now Cole's Cube trying to make up some positions, trying to get around Melee Fox in the 92, who also started close to the front and has lost a bunch of spots as well. There's Fear in the 13, who started in the final row. Started all the way back in 38th, has moved up to 27th. Definitely one of our biggest movers, besides the 07 of Hubris. But now Hubris is starting to lose some positions, so we'll have to see wait how the pit stops shape out. Actually, the 5 of Hee-Hee-Ha is caught up to the 06 of Sanic, and will not try and pass for position right here. And no, the 06 will continue to have that third position, but now we'll just have to wait and see. It's now a matter of who pits first and who's going to be the best after coming off of pit road. As now Eggdog trying to get around Melee Fox, and now Chow Cube actually faster than everyone else right now because they're on newer tires, actually running 29 second, or hold on. Yeah, they're running 2/10 faster lap times. Very bold move in a turn 2. Gets around both Eggdog and Melee Fox. But since they're on those newer tires, they're running much faster than everyone else right now. Seem to have the same speed that they had earlier. Or whatever speed they had earlier. What am I saying? They didn't have speed at all. They were running towards the back. But right now, harassing everyone else that's on the lead lap, which is a bit funny. And Raceland, the 80, continuing to lose positions. Actually, the 18 of Peccary and their teammate almost now catching up to their teammate of Raceland, who started in the top 10 as well. And another cube that's lost a lot of spots, no maidens. Continuing to fall like a rock, has fallen outside the top 10. Here's a battle for the top 10. Pac-Mobile and Squid Games currently holding those positions, but Doge Cube in 11th looking to get into the top 10. And potentially get even more points on his very good points past couple of weeks. Or past few weeks, actually. Besides Las Vegas. Ooh, this little group of cars right here might be difficult for our leader, but let's see how easily the leader can get around Sands Club and these slow cubes over here. Currently holding up. Oh wow, slides way up on the outside there. Loses a ton of momentum. And now has to try and go for another battle to try and get past Trolling in the 33. Or the 21 of Sands Club. Meanwhile, McQueen and the Racer battling each other for the 30th or 29th position. But this is really not helping that 33 as they finally try and get around the 21 of Sands Club, and will likely do so. Sands Club still has a bit of an advantage coming out of turn 2. So yeah, these two are really holding up our leaders right now. Second place has run almost 4/10 faster than our leader. Actually has run 4/10 faster. So that lead is shrinking. So if we get a new leader before pit stops actually happen, then that'll be interesting to see. But Trolling, it looks like they're taking the really low bottom line I think got into the 4 of Kubendorf and sent them up into the wall at one point. I'm not exactly sure if that happened, but that's where those tire marks are. Could be the culprit of why there were tire marks down there in turn number 2, but who knows? We'll never find out who hid the bodies. Random out of context line. But yeah, the lead pack's starting to thin up a little bit besides this little group of cube groups right here in the mid pack. As Chow Cube continues to pass and harass other cubes for positions right here. I will pass and I will harass. Thank you very much. Now Sanic has actually stayed in 3rd. Lava Builder will actually hold on to, actually he's still in 5th. Gun will now fall back to 6th. Then Jinx, who has fallen all the way back to 7th, was in the top 5 really. Actually was in the top 3 at one point. But if they pit right now, then they will have enough fuel to make the race, I believe. Unless they make a really stupid undercut strategy at the end, which I've seen happen before. Ooh, trolling and making it 3 wide, going way down the bottom like they usually do to get around these lap cars, and will flawlessly get around Raccoon and Donkey Kong. Just putting a clinic on the field right now. Has already put everyone to the 31st lap down. You could say everyone got trolled. Right now, the only cubes in the top 10 right now that are eligible for the championship are not the 46, the 40. Oh god, the only 2 that are in the top 10 that are eligible for the championship are the 25 of Dragalialost and the 97 of Pac-Mobile. Interesting. So field fillers definitely something to dominate this weekend. Because I don't think we've seen a single non-field filler up front so far. As we see 2 of our championship eligible drivers, Raccoon and the Racer, having a slow day today. Oh, Pac-Mobile's on pit road. That might be one of our first. Yep, the green flag pit stops are about to begin. Let's see if our leader comes down. Bob the Builder comes down this time. Let's see when the 33 comes down pit road first. So it looks like they will be able to make it on fuel, unless, like I said, a stupid undercut strategy makes its way, or at least happens. Trolling will come down now. So will the 19. And this will be an interesting battle to see on pit road. Who's going to come out first, as they are very close together. Sheepmobile's on pit road as well as Fear. As the 5 of Hee 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 Ha, who's on the lead lap, so is Jinx and Squid Games. Trolling is going to go ahead and pit. I'll switch to our second pit lane. Actually, no, both these pit lane cams are kind of shite. And I don't even have free cam enabled, so I can't even change it. No! But Doge will actually get out ahead of Sheepmobile there, you saw for a second. Goose will get out ahead of Fear. And Trolling will get out ahead of the 19. So it looks like our lead will stay the same. See if anyone else is coming down pit road. Yep, there's Cole, Donkey Kong, Racelin, Melee Fox, Egg Dog, Sands Club, and the rest of our cubes. Actually, I think the pit road is randomized. Besides our pulse hitter, which I don't think is exclusive to this mod. It might be a track only thing, but I'm not 100% sure. Because Sands Club started in last place and definitely does not have the last place pit box, so it's strange, isn't it? But after that series of pit stops, Trolling will continue to keep the lead. Actually, I think the 28... Actually, no, 28 is still in the lead lap. Or actually is now pitting, but... Still 7th, actually now 2nd. The 18 of... that is Pecorine is now coming on pit road. So that'll end the green flag pit stop session. And that means everyone has pitted so far, everyone can make it to the end, and now it's just a matter of fact of, did the 33 make good adjustments, or will we have a surprise take the lead towards the end? Clearing 27.9 second lap times, but the 19 is faster by 0.3, almost 0.3 exactly. '18 now coming off of pit road. Now it looks like more of them were actually lapped in the process of those green flag pit stops. Oh wow, the 16 of the racer actually gained a bunch of positions off of pit road, as now battling 28 of Cole for position. That 28 continuing to fall back. Maybe pit road was not very kind to them, but now 33 is stacked in between a bunch of cubes that are not running for the lead. This very well could be good for the 19 to catch up and get out front. Meanwhile, in third, Bob the Builder now in third. Then Dragalialost is back in fourth. Then the 5 runs at the top 5. Then Jinx, then Gun, then Sanic drops to 8th. Pac-Mobile still in 9th. And 10th is Squid Game, so the top 10 will remain the same. But now Sheepmobile actually trying to make a run for the top 10. Potentially get their first top 10 of the year, which would be huge for that team because they're currently last in points, like I said earlier. But Dogecube's about to make that a very difficult task. But it may end up being a battle between the 33, the 19, and the 46 of Bob the Builder in the end. Still holding off the leader as the margins continue to close, but even the 19 still has those lap cars to get around and try and get to the leader, as Trolling Cube will actually now attempt to pass both of them, but the 16 has a better run on the straightaway. Still very close racing, but that 33 takes that inside line very flawlessly and will get around the lap cubes for that position. Inside line seems to be their best bet right now. But the lead was shortened down by half a second there. But now the 19 has to get around all of them, and as we saw earlier, the 19 has a very difficult time getting around the lap cars, so especially with this pack that continues to run 3 wide over and over again, that'll be a very, very challenging task for Igus. But currently Trolling continues to dominate, or not really dominate, actually Sanic dominated a good portion of the early race, but has now fallen off quite a lot. And now the 19 of Igus continuing to continuing to fall off as well. Oops. Let's go back to our leader. So Retro and Pac-Mobile not battling for position, but battling for any spot they can get. Actually, the O2... Actually, not the O2. The 96 of Chowmobile is back under 1 lap down since they pitted early. So now they're actually gaining positions with... Actually, no longer fresher tires, but that little gamble to pit early actually kind of paid off for that team, because they actually gained positions overall after they pitted. So an interesting bet happening with our leaders right now. Or not really our leaders, for some of our lower ranked cubes. Oh wow, the 19 got around a majority of those cubes already. Let's see if that margin closed up anymore. No, it actually expanded a bit that time by. And now it's continuing to expand a little bit as trolling will continue to get away with the lead. We have been caution-free so far this race. Looks like, considering the way they're racing so far. Oh, now the caution comes out. I just jinxed it. Who is around? Nobody. It looks like it might be a debris yellow or phantom yellow, but caution is out. Oh my god, that is the best example of commentator's curse I've ever seen. As soon as I pan the camera after saying we have been caution-free, the yellow comes out. That is insane. But it might be for a debris caution. Don't know where, but someone may have dropped something on the track. But this is horrible, horrible news for the 33 who had such a good lead. And whoa, oh, this is dicey back here as they try to figure out where the hell they're supposed to go. And we might start seeing some damage back here. Oh, Packmobile's been turned around. Yeah, like I said, they usually kind of shit themselves when they try and figure out where they need to go under yellow, so. Hey, just like real NR drivers. They're just like me for real. But now we're under our first yellow for, I assume, debris. It's under a mod called Better Cautions, which I have enabled, so who knows. Gonna rehydrate a little bit. Since we're getting close, we're decently close to the end of this one. Let's look at the weather right now in my area. See how close this dang storm is getting. Oh yeah, it seems to be not. Oh shit! It looks like it's already starting to happen. Oh boy. We might actually have to call this race early. We might actually have to fast forward this because those storms are moving in real quick and they are real bad. Actually, Chowkeep is actually going to come on pit road. Interesting strategy. Actually, you know what? You know what? How long is this going to last? Let's see. Oh shit. Oh god. Tornado threat. Oh, good, great, awesome. That's what I like to see. Is my phone even plugged in? I can't even tell, honestly. No, it is not. I probably need to do that real quick. I'm just gonna plug my phone in so that I don't lose anything important. Where's my phone? Oh, there it is. I don't know if y'all can hear it on the mic, but it's raining real bad out there. Oh boy, it's raining. We might actually have to call this race early due to rain. I don't want to lose my power and